Rain poured on cracked sidewalks. A mother stood at the bottom of crumbling steps, clutching a wheelchair that carried her only son. Strangers passed, whispering, judging. Her arms shook. She couldn't lift him. And just when hope seemed lost, 12 engines roared down the street. The town of Cedar Grove was the kind of place where gossip traveled faster than kindness. Sarah Morgan walked there often, pushing her 12-year-old son, Daniel, in his wheelchair. Daniel had been born with muscular dystrophy. His body was fragile, but his eyes shone with mischief and wonder. He loved cars, motorcycles, and anything with wheels. Life had already taken Daniel's father in a work accident years ago. On this particular Saturday, Sarah faced the steepest challenge yet, the library steps, where Daniel dreamed of going inside. The library was a kingdom to him. He'd heard stories of knights and explorers, but had only seen the entrance from the bottom of those stairs. Sarah tried once, twice, straining, lifting. The wheels clattered against stone, her knees buckled. Daniel looked away, shame flooding his face. People passed. Some glanced, then hurried. Others whispered. One man in a pressed suit muttered, "They shouldn't bring that boy here." Sarah leaned against the railing, chest heaving, whispering apologies, and then came the sound. Low, thunderous, rolling closer. Engines. 12 of them. Chrome glinting beneath storm clouds. Cedar Grove residents stiffened. Everyone knew the name. Hell's Angels. The bike slowed. 12 men swung their boots to the ground. Their jackets were marked with fire and wings. Daniel's eyes widened, not in fear, but in awe. He whispered, "Mom, they're like knights." The leader removed his helmet. His voice was steady, low but kind. "You need a hand?" Sarah blinked. I can manage," she whispered, though her shaking arms betrayed her. The biker crouched. "What's your name, kid?" "Daniel. You want to go in there?" Daniel nodded. The leader stood. "All right, boys." 12 men in leather moved with surprising gentleness. The chair rose from the wet ground, steadied by rough but careful hands. One by one, they climbed the stone steps, carrying Daniel as if he were made of glass. Sarah's breath caught. Tears blurred her vision. The crowd gathered. The man in the pressed suit muttered, "This isn't right. Those people, criminals." But Daniel's smile widened with every step. By the time they reached the library doors, his eyes sparkled. For the first time, he wasn't being pitted. He was being honored. Inside, Daniel's chair rolled between ancient shelves. His small hand brushed along spines of books. The bikers stood back, forming a respectful wall near the entrance. Word spread quickly. By the time they left, the street buzzed with onlookers. Daniel clutched a borrowed book. "Mom," he whispered, "they made me feel normal." Then came the murmurs. "They're criminals. They'll want money next." The leader stepped closer. "You all talk about what's right. But when was the last time any of you carried him up those stairs?" Silence rippled across Main Street. The man in the pressed suit stepped forward. "You people don't belong here." The leader's voice stayed calm. "Funny. You've got standards, but no backbone. We just carried this boy where none of you ever did." Daniel spoke. "They're not bad. They're brave." The crowd shifted. Then one of the bikers pulled out a photograph, a young boy in a wheelchair. His voice cracked. "That was my brother. He never got the chance this kid has. He died before he turned 15. The leader added, "We know what it's like to carry someone who can't walk. That's why we don't leave kids like him behind." Sirens wailed. A patrol car arrived. The officer stepped out. The suited man pointed. "They're intimidating the town." The leader said calmly, "We carried a boy up some stairs. That's all." The officer turned to Sarah. "Is this true?" "Yes," Sarah said. "They helped my son when no one else did." The officer nodded. "Then it sounds like these men did a good thing today." Daniel's voice rose. "Can they come with us tomorrow? I want to show them the park." The leader crouched low. "If your mom says yes, then we'll be there." Sarah rose to her feet. Her voice shook but carried. "You all watched me struggle, week after week, and not once did anyone come forward. These men saw my son. They lifted him. Can any of you say the same?" The street went silent. The next day, at the park, one biker handed Daniel a small flag, red, white, stitched with wings. "Every rider needs his colors." Daniel's face lit up. He draped it across his lap like a cape. The youngest biker leaned toward Sarah. "Sometimes angels wear leather, not wings." Sarah smiled. "And sometimes the world needs to be reminded of that." As the engines roared back to life, Daniel whispered. Mom, I think they're my heroes. Sarah kissed his forehead. Mine too, sweetheart. Mine too. That night, Cedar Grove wasn't the same. The story of a boy, his mother, and 12 unlikely guardians had cracked open the town's heart. Sometimes heroes wear badges. Sometimes they wear suits. But sometimes they thunder down the street on 2 wheels, carrying hope where no one else will. Kindness is the bravest rebellion of all.